Dern. Mackenzie, thanks ever so much for joining us here on Fox Sports. Now, it's been a long road for you to finally get here. What does this mean for you, considering all the sacrifices you've made, all the struggles outside the cage as well? What does it mean for you to finally have gotten this title shot?
I think it solidifies like my faith in the process. I think all fighters. I've been competing since I'm 5 years old. I fought for like multiple world titles in jiu-jitsu, even though it's like a different sport. But I know what it feels like to put like your whole year, all your training on for one day, and you're like giving everything. If you lose that day, you have one whole year to do it again. I think just for the athletes, our lifestyles, it just kind of really shows how like the ups and the downs, it's all part of the process. And this is like my biggest goal was kind of what one thing I wish I could teach to my daughter, was just this, like whatever she decides to do in life, if it's doctor or college or athlete or whatever she decides, that life hits you, like, you fall down, but you just keep coming back up, and it's all part of the process. So I had a lot of battles. One with Vina, I broke my nose. That was my first time I broke my nose in a fight. I ended up winning, but it's just going through all this adversity in these 7 years, 8 years that I've been in the UFC, and just through my whole life, and to finally get this opportunity. And the way it happened, just fighting against someone who I fought before, Whaley going up, being here in Abu Dhabi, that I won one of my world titles here 10 years ago, you know what I mean? So it's just, the stars just totally aligned. And it's like, I could never imagine I win 5 years ago could set me up for this, but you just focus like one day at a time and be ready when the opportunity knocks.
Hey, Mackenzie, it's Rob here. And I love the message you're trying to send to your daughter, like the message that it is a process. You got to stay true to the process, and opportunities happen, they arrive. Let me ask you, you're in the spotlight, you're in the limelight for the biggest fight of your career, though this isn't, you've fought at the highest level of competition. Does it, do the similarities transfer? Does it have the same feeling, or is there added pressure, or are you wiser, or have learned things from that moment to this moment to, take advantage of the situation?
Yeah, I definitely feel like comfortable. You know what I mean? I don't feel like pressure, especially, I think because she's ahead of me in the ranks, and she's coming from such a big sequence of wins and everything. And I'm kind of like, I'm coming off 2 wins, and I kind of went like in the up and down, but having all that competition and just like fighting for world titles before, it definitely, like, I feel comfortable. I feel like it's very surreal, just because I feel like I became a white belt again. I left jiu-jitsu at my best moment, so like, it's like when you're at your very best, you could keep staying the best in what you do, where you're in comfort zone, or you can go start a completely new sport, learn how to throw a punch, learn how to like get punched, learn how, wrestling and just all these things, and kind of be a white belt again and build it, and just kind of go through the whole process that I did in jiu-jitsu, but in a completely like new sport, basically. So it's just surreal that, that I was able to get here, and that both jiu-jitsu girls were both fighting for the belt. So I think that says a lot, especially because the first UFC was Royce Gracie. I think that really says how jiu-jitsu is just such a big pillar in MMA. I think you need to know at least a little bit of MMA, jiu-jitsu, to be, have success in MMA, at least a defense or something, but I'm really happy to represent jiu-jitsu. And I think that just all these fights and all the pressure, I think it comes down to it. A lot of people freeze under pressure, and I've never seen like Vienna in the jiu-jitsu world fight for world titles or things like that, so I'm know she's going to give her all. This is like the once in a lifetime opportunity for her. But I really feel like just how much I've been through there, and like have that pressure and just media and all that stuff, I think I'll be able to be me, and I think that's what will help me win this fight.
Definitely, definitely. Your experience is a great tool you're going to be using this entire week. Tell me, does the show and experience, like the increased media, the increased photos and opportunities, the press at the conference, everything, is that living up to what you expect from a world title? Like you said, you've had to fight your way here. You were brave and you took the jump to a new sport. Is it living up to what you dreamed?
Yeah, definitely. I think my pregnancy, like my first loss came when I fought like 4 months after my daughter was born. And I feel like that whole, you know, I feel like as soon as I went into MMA, that was like the biggest reason. Everyone's like, oh, you know, you can be like the next Ronda Rousey. No one has jiu-jitsu like you. And kind of this pressure from people, like even the media saying I'm going to be the next Ronda Rousey. And, you know, she was like undefeated this whole time. And I got my first loss. And then my career went like a different path. And it's, you know, everyone has their own journey. So, I mean, I think I've always had a lot of media in MMA for people, like for someone who didn't ever fight MMA before. But now just kind of getting here to the belt, I'm kind of like, man, I want to do less media. You know what I mean? Because I'm just trying to, but now that we're fighting for the belt, it's like even more, you know? So I'm just trying to like cut out a couple of the media and just really focus on the belt. And I really think a lot of opportunities are gonna open if I win this belt, you know? I mean, even now, like fight week, there's like tons of sponsors trying to like close with me, you know, and that's before the belt. So I'm like, man, of course I want to get stuff down because we never know the result of the fight, you know? But yeah, I think it's going to really exceed what people had imagined and thought for me and for myself too.
Well, with that said, we won't keep you much longer. One more question, if you don't mind. Mackenzie, you guys are both submission specialists, both you and Virna, and obviously proud Brazilians and also black belts in your discipline. You guys are very high level now, obviously fighting for the title. Are you expecting this to be a chess match on the ground? What are you expecting tactically coming up against Virna Jandiroba?
Honestly, I think that Virna, she's gonna like play a more stalling game. You know, I see her like maybe trying to stay safe on the striking and then maybe like 2.5 minutes of each round kind of try and maybe get the takedown or put me on the cage and kind of win with that type of style. You know, we fought the first time and she didn't really want to go to the ground, but I mean, it's 25 minutes. So I think that we're going to go to the ground for sure. I think this fight is going to have a little bit of everything. And I think we're going to have striking, cage work, you know, clinch like knees, elbows, ground game. I think there'll be takedowns in jiu-jitsu, but I don't see her like, since we're both high level jiu-jitsu, but like I said, it's different, you know, like there's different levels to it. I think she's done such a good job with implementing jiu-jitsu for MMA. But like I said, she was never part of like our jiu-jitsu community, like with IBJJF tournaments and world championships and Pan American and European, all these types of things, you know? So I don't see her staying like 25 minutes wanting to exchange in a grappling match with me. I think that would not be a good choice for like fighting for the belt. You know, I think she's going to play more safe. But I'm training everything to not let that happen. I didn't come like, you know, 30 years training to like lose a title belt because I got like stalled out or something. So definitely this is going to be a crazy fight because I'm going to come to fight. I'm going to win. So I don't leave it like to the judges or anything.
Mackenzie, we can't wait to see this crazy fight this weekend. All the best to you this weekend, and thanks for your time on Fox Sports.
Good luck, Mackenzie.
Thank you, guys. Nice talking to you. Thanks for having me.